Welcome to another special Hornbill TV explainer, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Al Nguli. Nagaland was a strange place in the 80s. It was not a safe place for people who used drugs and alcohol those days, or people who engaged in liquor business, especially women. This is the main reason, ladies and gentlemen. It was common for members of the Naga underground organizations to persecute drug or alcohol users or those dealing in the trade. I knew in person many of my elder brother's friends who used drugs and who were shot dead by members of the nationalist groups. Killing drug users was not uncommon those days in Nagaland, ladies and gentlemen, especially for those of you younger ones who might not know the place Nagaland comes from. Similarly, people dealing in liquor, except those engaged in indigenous beer or wine businesses, were often detained, they were beaten up, or was made the same fate as the drug users. So what about women who ran illegal alcohol businesses those days? Women generally got off with something comparatively light. Local women's organizations or members of armed factions would shave their heads. In worst cases, there were also instances that the Naga groups would drive large wooden spikes into their ears, and they would insert a large log into their ears. So you had to carry on your ears a large log until they decide that you have served your punishment or you have pledged your best behavior in the future. In 1989, the Nagaland Liquor Total Prohibition Act 1989 came into force in the state, prohibiting the possession, sale, consumption and manufacture of liquor. The Act also prohibits import and export of liquor. The debate about whether or not Nagaland should lift the prohibition continues. The debate finds its fuel in the perception that the Act has been a total failure since its inception in 1989, with successive governments failing to stop the flow of illegal liquor in the state. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who came in late, the legislation came about a time when the church and the family lobby in Nagaland, led by women, felt that liquor was immoral to the Naga way of life. Practicing Christians believed that liquor has no place in a Christian state like Nagaland. Likewise, the family lobby, led by mothers and women during that time, argued that alcohol has brought poverty, violence and abuse to the family and left many homes without father figures and male leaderships in the family unit. Again, there are people, including government and community leaders, who believe alcohol can generate revenue for the state that can be somehow utilized in developing the state. That's one of the arguments. On the other hand, the Christian community and the family lobby in general do not really believe that revenue should be a priority over the spiritual destiny of the people, the Christians in Nagaland especially. The loss of potential revenue, in fact, is one of the more prominent arguments here among the contentions by people who want the Prohibition Act on alcohol be lifted. So there are many various and complicated arguments in this regard from various sections of the people. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe that the intensity of the conversation about whether or not we should lift it gained momentum during the early 2000s. The undertone of the argument why the act should be repealed is the general belief among some sections of the people that corruption and lack of development in Nagaland stemmed from the state's unstable financial health. So that's one of their arguments. Whatever the contentions are, the arguments are from those who are for the act and those against the act. Maybe this is the only fact that we all can agree on. Prohibition has failed miserably. Even government leaders themselves have admitted so. We all know Nagaland is a dry state only on paper. Liquor is freely available, ladies and gentlemen, anywhere, and it's so obvious for me to be stating that. I have been sober for more than 10 years, but I know that liquor is everywhere. But almost everyone, many of them I know in my circle of family and friends, consume alcohol in one form or the other. We all know about the jokes about the mineral water bottle shop. Mineral water bottle shops are, I think they sell more than water. That's as much as I want to say right now. Or Chow Momo mineral water shops, you get the idea. It was just several weeks ago I went to this nice posh looking store to get some snacks. So there was this large stash of local fruit juice bottles on the shelves. Ladies and gentlemen, they were mostly local Naga brands. I brought 2 bottles of this juice. One was strawberry and peach for 2 of my friends, and you know what, the alcohol content was so high it knocked my friends out. No, there's nothing written on the bottles to indicate it had any kind of liquor, ladies and gentlemen. Even during my school days and college days, we could get any liquor we wanted, of course. The Assam Rifles canteen in Wokha during those time was our favorite place. My point is, alcohol is freely available, perhaps even more than it used to be. So from where does the wettest state in the country of India gets its liquor from? If you have ever opened a bottle yourself, you know that it came from one of our loving neighbors, Assam, Khatkati. The nearest Assam town bordering Nagaland is probably the only alcohol capital for Nagaland. It's in another state though. There will be more people from Nagaland there than there is the entire population of Assamese people in Nagaland, ladies and gentlemen. It's a very busy spot. I believe that most of the people who want the NLTP Act removed may have found inspiration in the money alcohol can bring in. The state of Assam, ladies and gentlemen, earns approximately 10 crore as excise revenue per day. That's approximately about 3,650 crore in a year approximately. Or for those of you who love mathematics, these are the figures. The excise revenue in Assam has been increasing every year. It was 1,699.36 crore in 2018. It increased to 3,047.98 crore in 2021 and 2022, ladies and gentlemen. According to Assam's Excise Minister Parimal Suklabaidya, more than 5.30 lakh bulk liquor is sold daily on average in Assam. From this, the state of Assam earns more than 10 crore as excise revenue per day. The minister said the average daily sale of Indian foreign liquor is about 3,06,772 liters. Again, the approximate quantity of beer sold per day is approximately 1,66,589 bulk liter. The minister said further that the state government has given licenses to about 1,684 wine shops and 896 so far, and the numbers are increasing, ladies and gentlemen. I know what you're thinking, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, Assam's money is my money now. You know, most of the revenue could be from Nagaland. People from Nagaland spending their money there in Khatkati. A casual drive to Khatkati will offer you a very nice perspective about what's going on and all these many activities around liquor that brings a lot of revenue for Assam. A year before the Nagaland Liquor Prohibition Act came into force, ladies and gentlemen, the revenue from alcohol sale in Nagaland was 584.37 lakh, and that was in 87-88, just before the NLTP Act was introduced. In 1988-89, it went down to 550 lakh. Since then, the revenue of Nagaland from alcohol has dwindled to about 255 lakh or somewhere in that region. Or you might be wondering why we even have any amount of revenue, any amount from liquor sale in Nagaland. If liquor is banned in Nagaland, you might be wondering, licenses. The excise revenue is from the sale of liquor to defense personnel through canteen stores department or CSD and to paramilitary warehouses. The revenue is also from fines extracted from people who violate excise regulations. Since the introduction of the NLTP, excise revenue in Nagaland has come to bare digits. However, you'll find this very interesting that during the financial year 2012-2013, the excise revenue for Nagaland picked up to about 400 lakh. Again, in 2013 and 2014, the revenue was 451 lakh. It increased even more at 408.52 lakh during 2014 and 2015. Again, the excise revenue for Nagaland went up to about 416.92 lakh from January 15 till January 2016. Licenses, those are from licenses. Thank you for watching Hornbill TV and this explainer. Ladies and gentlemen, continue to support us as we bring you more and more updates, and of course a lot of interesting things about events happening around the world, about important people, their lives, about things in general, where we explain here all about those. I'm Al Nguli. See you next time.